Folks, Lester and Jamie here, and we're taking a real risk.
Big
We are
risk.
risk takers. Two things we're taking a risk on. Number one, we're trying to wait for Daniel and DJ to finish over on Arm's family, but Daniel, such a long-winded guy. I don't know why he can never just like shut it down. Everyone knows I can shut it down when it's time. And Daniel has gone well past his hour, and now he's over into our hour. This is a 3 o'clock hour. This is our time. And I did not want to take away. Well, I was actually watching Daniel and DJ and making some comments and, just kind of doing what we do. But I tell you what, I was thinking to myself, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. And Daniel is just talking, talking, and talking, and talking.
Yeah,
And
I mean, like, he should learn how to say goodbye like
he
you do.
should learn to say goodbye.
Just like you.
Yeah, no more than 10 times.
No
and at
more.
that point, shut it down. So, yeah, Daniel was just rambling on. And so we had, and then our second risk is trying to do two platforms at the same time on our weak-ass internet.
Yeah.
And I will tell you one thing that I'm really happy about. The fact that I was just now listening to Daniel and DJ on the Arms family.
He's still talking, somebody said.
Yeah, he's still talking. So could someone let him know that, hey, Lester and Jamie are ready to get started. Could you please shut it down? We're trying to be respectful because we collaborate, we work together, we're friends, but we have things to do, and 3 o'clock is our time. It's kind of like, it's our time, Jamie. It's our time. But I will say this. This is really funny. But the last thing that I heard before we had to switch over to get our stuff ready was him talking about he and DJ having occasional arguments and the fact that they're married, and as married folks, you sometimes argue. And I probably shouldn't bring this up. You're going to be mad if I even talk about this.
Wait, where's this going?
Jamie and I have had this ongoing argument for, I would say, almost 2 weeks. And it was never meant to be an argument. It was actually really funny, and I'm going to let you guys be the judge. And please, none of that girl code stuff. None of that girl code. Let's all be open and honest with each other. Can we just be open and honest with each other? So here's exactly how it happened, and I would never exaggerate a real story. This is not for entertainment purposes only. I'll just say that. The day that we got a hold of the wildlife rescue, and the wildlife rescuer and the game warden come over to, gather the little deer, Elvira, and the rescuer and Jamie were just talking up a storm, like they hit it off, and me and the game warden were shooting the breeze. I was showing him around the farm. He was just intrigued by the ostriches and whatnot. But he came back, and when we all got back together, he kept talking about there was a lady. He said a lady. He said there was a lady that just would not stop. She wants one of y'all to go to jail because she's sitting here quoting the law to him. Up to a year in jail, up to a year in jail,
up to a year in jail.
Up to a year in jail. And she wanted one of us to go to jail. And so as a joke, I says, well, you'll have to take Jamie to jail because I wouldn't survive a night in jail. And then Jamie thought I was kidding, and she ha-ha'd it off, whatever.
I even joked and said, let's play rock, paper, scissors.
And then I says, no, seriously, now, of course, he wasn't taking anyone to jail. They got the baby, and they were off and gone. But Jamie wouldn't let it go. She would not let it go. And I says, Jamie, seriously, I'm like, come on. No one's going to jail. Everything's fine. I says, but if one of us had to go to jail, it has to be you. You have to be the one to go to jail because guys like me don't last a day in jail. Guys like me wouldn't last a day in jail. I know what you're going to say. Lester, stop flattering yourself. Ain't no one going to want to get a piece of you. Okay, stop. That's not what I'm referring to. I think that we all know that there's a big difference between female jail and guys jail. Everyone knows this. This is not some kind of a Netflix made-up stuff.
I tried to tell Lester that he was not that pretty, and he didn't enjoy that compliment at all.
No, what you told me was I could just dance and impress everybody and they'd leave me alone.
You would get in a great gang if you
No.
could just dance.
A dancing gang in prison. Stop laughing about it. It's not funny. Every couple needs to have this understanding that if one of you have to go to jail, either the guy or the girl, ladies, I hope that you'll bite the bullet on this one. I hope that you would bite the bullet on this one. Do not send your man to jail because horrible things happen to men in jail.
What do you think happens to women? Have you not seen Orange is the New Black?
Things happen to women, but not unbearable things, not like unnatural, unholy things. So I'm trying to keep this family friendly because there could very well be families watching this.
Listen.
But I think that every man and woman couple need to understand that if you ever commit a crime and one of you have to go down for it, ladies, please be the bigger man and step up and don't fight with me again. Give me your hand. We have Jami. Jami has been upset with me because I told her most things I can joke about, and I would jump in front of a bullet to protect you, Jami. I would do that. But if it came down to one of us having to serve a year in jail, it's going to have to be you. I will maintain your page. I will talk about you in every video.
Don't tell me you do. Talk about me being all like.
No, I'll go
in
visit.
Prison.
I'll go visit you every Sunday. I will make sure I'm at every visitation. I'll start like a GoFundMe, so you'll have the very best commissary. Is it called commissary? You can have all kinds of. You already know all of Jake's
I would say,
secrets.
like, take all Jake's recipes to jail.
You can bring Jake recipes home. You can bring Jake new recipes. We'll bring the whole family to visit you. But
here's the thing.
You cannot force me to sit there in jail and do what men do in jail. That would ruin me.
Are you puckering right
Literally,
now?
I am. I'm puckering right now. I have the whole pucker. Yeah, someone says, please send Lester to jail.
Here's the thing. Okay, like it's like I didn't go to like thinking about the whole like jail part of it like you
That's
did.
all I ever worry about is going to jail
went
and what would
thinking
happen
about,
to me in jail.
Which one of us can truly handle all of the home things and make sure that they get like
Trust
done.
me, I can handle the home things a lot better than I can handle the homey thing. I almost said the holy thing, but I meant the homey thing. I would have to join a gang, and there's only one gang for guys like me, and I don't want to be in that gang. I don't want to have tattoos all over my face. I don't want to have them shave my head and start tattooing things all over my head. I don't want.
What if they do it to me?
You can regrow your hair. You can cover that stuff up, baby. See,
I
she gets
cannot
really...
get face tattoos. Step one, because one of us has a career that would be down in the drain.
Oh, if either one of us go to jail, our careers are over. I can't be driving no bus after I have a felony on my hands, Jami. I can't be driving no bus with a felony, all right? And so what I'm saying is, I feel like in both instances, I could maintain the properties without you if I had to. I don't want to, but if I had to. But I could not survive jail. I could not survive being in jail. And so that would be the end of me.
You'd survive. You probably just wouldn't want to talk about it so much.
Someone says there might not be Dr. Peppers in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
That's point number 3. That could be valid point number 3.
That would actually be his worst punishment. The others fall second to the no Dr. Pepper situation. I would fill your commissary for Dr. Pepper.
So listen, so here's the thing. No, because they would steal my commissary because the big butcher guys would come in there and call me a biatch, and they would take all of my food. They would take everything from me, and I mean everything.
2 weeks we've had this discussion.
We have had, no, but the thing is, I'm serious and you're joking it off. And I'm saying, what if for some reason there was a real crime that what if this lady just says, I want him in jail? And some judge or some ward says, okay, fine, lady, we cannot handle it. And they send me off for a year. Or could they send you off for a year? And I just think, and I think if we're being honest with each other, it's stop all the little laughy faces. There's no reason for laughy faces.
I already told you, like, I don't have anything to add in jail, okay? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, bring my, like, I grew this pickle? Like, I'm really good, I grew this pickle? Or, like, I don't know, I can I can feed a baby goat. There are no baby goats in jail.
No.
All of the skills that I know.
You-
I can't hire a doctor in jail. I can't.
You
know.
would have to toughen up a little bit. We could toughen you up a little bit. You'd have to toughen up a little bit.
Let's toughen you up.
For that? There's no way to toughen a man up for that.
I think there might be.
There's no way to toughen somebody up for that. Anyway, so please, they do have gardens in jail, somebody says, so you would be fine.
Well, shoot.
You could be the jail garden lady. And I would just be they would just take advantage of me left and right. And I couldn't do that. So I'm asking you politely with audience here that if it ever goes down to that, if it ever boils down to one of us have to go to jail, you have to take the rap on this one.
No.
Oh my gosh, Jamie. This might be the end of us. I hope that y'all know this might be the end of us because I need a woman I need a ride or die. I need a ride or die. Someone who will take the rap and sit a year in the slammer for me. You wouldn't do that.
I'll push you off your chair.
Everybody wants you to. Everyone says, Lester, just drop it already. Okay, well, fine, I'll drop it, but don't think that it's going to be dropped around our house because if you want to know the truth, soap on a rope, Lester, is called soap on a rope. Y'all don't get it. I don't
She's
think
talking
y'all
about
get
the
it.
way to make things easier for you. That's all. You don't want any friction.
Jamie, now you're being perverse. And
Be
I
serious.
have kept this into a family channel edition the entire time. And now you're being perverse.
That was very
Anyway,
friendly. That was very friendly.
Someone says there's no makeup in jail, Jamie. That's true. No makeup in jail.
I didn't get to really put makeup on today. It's very hot. It's gone already anyway. So.
Someone needs to send Lester some prison garb. Guys, I still think that if it push comes to shove, I can talk her into it. And if I have to, I do know how to hide. I have survival skills. So I will survive out in the wild. You guys will catch me. You know how on occasion we have those Bigfoot sightings around I'm a Survivor? Or we have some kind of crazy sighting. You'll catch me in one of y'all's back-ass videos. I'll be in the background just letting everyone know that I'm still there.
They're going to catch you when you're trying to say your 10th texting goodbye on a video is when they're going to catch you.
All right, so I feel like I'm a little bit outnumbered here by the ladies, and everyone is saying that Lester would do better.
Somebody just said, Jamie, just think how buff you'll be in a year after jail.
How what?
How buff I'll be in a year after jail.
That's true. Jamie would be very buffed. See? Just think, you could you come home and just really put a work over on poor Ringo and Carl.
Meanwhile, you'll be searching for your ride or die.
No, if you would be my ride or die, if you go to jail for me, you'll be my ride or die. I already asked Jamie once before to prove her ride or die-ism to me, and I wanted to ask her, I did ask her to get my brand tattooed on her right butt cheek. I wanted to have the rocking M, not burnt tattooed, not like branded, but tattooed onto her right butt cheek because there's just something ride or die-ish about that.
Yeah, we just spent our first Christmas together at that moment, so we're, pretty early on in, and we're talking about next steps and being serious. He's like, well, if you really want to prove, how serious you are, you can get my brand tattooed on.
That's really the only way to ever prove that you really care for a man is to allow him to put his brand onto your right butt cheek.
Yeah, and I told him that he could put my face directly on his, and that would prove it to me too. So you see how that worked out.
Yep. Anyway, Jamie, someone says you would look really cute wearing orange.
Oh, thanks.
Jamie would look cute wearing orange. Anyway, so we're going to stop it. We're going to get off the subject. But if y'all want to know, and I only got the idea from watching Daniel and DJ talking about their family arguments, and that as husband and wife, you do argue, partners argue. And so I don't know what prompted that. I did not see the video that they were arguing, but I think that was funny because, in fact, we do argue. Jamie and I argue quite a bit. But
we do not argue quite a bit.
No, what I was going to say is, but an argument to us is not like it would appear to other people.
That's true.
Because we can have you might want to call it an argument, but we're really not even mad. It's just kind of, who's Jamie's butt cheek?
What?
That would be mine. That my brand would go on her butt cheek because that would be mine. People are going to freak out about that, Jamie. Let's just move on from the whole thing.
Oh my
Today,
gosh.
we did have a visitor come to take a look at the baby ostriches. They are 3 weeks old today, 21 days, and we had they had to get their little blood taken for a little sample, tiny sample size, to be sent in for a DNA genetic gender analysis. So we will know did I say that wrong? If
Yeah.
there's, go ahead and tell me exactly
We
what it is.
just, it's a DNA test to determine their sex. That's it.
Okay. So we're going to have that sent in, and we paid to have that done. We will have the results back by next weekend. So I think by the time we come next Sunday together, we might should do some kind of a gender reveal, and that will be a lot of fun.
I think
That'll
that would
be
be
some
really fun.
anticipation. I'm pretty sure that everyone kind of already feels like they know what's what. And if we're all right on that, then that's going to be really neat that when I say we, I mean the collective, all of you and me, have been able to, on our own, look at the different behaviorisms, the mannerisms, the way they carry themselves, and along with their body weights. And we've already kind of in our mind, we've determined who the male and who the females are. Isn't that crazy?
It is, but I am skeptical because what if it were like way opposite wrong? Because we're watching these mannerisms
It may
and
be
things
wrong.
like that, and then what if it's because so much else in that world is opposite? Like the dad does the caretaking. So what if we are basing our gender predictions off of stereotypical things that we know, by other animal behavior and other human behavior, but in reality, it's completely opposite because everything else about the ostriches has been opposite. So I am skeptical on prediction based on how different that they are from everything else.
Well, I mean, it could very well be that we're wrong, but I've always said for the last 2 weeks since we put the bands on them that Orange is going to be a male and the other two will be females. But you're right. Now, if there were only one ostrich, like I remember when Jason Smith had Nugget, their emu, gendered, sexed, and they only had one. So if there's only one, you can't see any differences or how they're similar with others that are the same age. But I think that we have an advantage of having three, and we know that out of the three, one does things very different
true.
than the other two.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
so-
all three are the same. That is a fact. That is one thing that I believe with you is that I don't think we have three of the same gender.
So you think it could be where that the two, which would be the yellow and the green, who we call Charlie and Sue, could be the males, and then the orange, who we call Pat or Peepat, or the Tattletale, could very well be a female.
Yeah, because
That would be really neat if that happens, but I hope it doesn't.
I don't
I
think
hope it
that we're
doesn't.
wrong, but again, like I said, everything else in the ostrich character stuff is so different from what we know in the rest of animal species and humans that it just feels like maybe it's opposite here too. I don't know.
Maybe so. I don't know. But we will find out in a week. We did that today. That was fun. We caught the babies. We handled them up. Luis did a very thorough check. We have a video of that. Jami actually went live this morning while I was catching the babies. And then after the live,
That was a fiasco.
that was bad.
Well, at the end, whenever the goat got stuck and you're making a video and poor little Roxy's getting rammed by Brady in the worst way and I couldn't do anything. And poor Lester couldn't hear what I was saying, like how
I was
serious
making a video.
Yeah, well, how serious I was about it because I don't think that he knows all my serious yell versus my like joking Lester yell. I don't know how, but he doesn't. So, I'm yelling like, Lester! And he's like, making a video.
I didn't know if you were serious or not. So sometimes you don't know if someone's screaming out of a video moment or if they're screaming out of legit pain or fear. And so, anyway. And so for the Baby Talk, that's a cute name. Baby Talk wants to know, so which ostrich will you be keeping? So obviously we'll be keeping any males. We will be keeping any males because nobody wants a male. We love Carl, and Carl has been so darn protective of all of our littles.
Yeah.
And so even though Carl did go through a phase where he was like a little bit misunderstood as far as what he needed, Carl is well past that.
You mean like when he needed Jake and
Yeah,
Deontay?
yeah, like when he needed Jake, when he needed Deontay, when he needed my lawnmower. Carl will come back around, and so we know that but now we have a setup over here where Carl can have those mood swings and not affect anybody.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be in a pasture that we have to access the way we had to go in there with our littles. And so we are very, very set up to have an additional male. So what'll happen is, and I've talked about this before, so I hate to feel like I'm repeating myself to folks who've already heard it. But if we have one additional male and we can't get any of the trusted farms, now listen, I'm gonna say that again, the trusted farms. Guys, we have not opened up an open invite to whoever wants an ostrich, just send us an email. We haven't done that. And so y'all have to stop suggesting to these other farms that we have ostriches that we're giving away, because we would never do that.
Do you know that somebody called?
I know, baby.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell that story, though.
Some people are calling the Department of Natural Resources and the game warden, finding out how they can take ostriches from us. If it's legal for them to come and have the ostriches and
So, yeah,
that type of thing. Very
I know.
strange, like twist of like. Leave the game warden alone, please. That's my ask.
I kind of think the game wardens in this county might be a little bit tired of you all. Sorry, but it's true. But if you think you're doing your duty, then whatever. But listen, if we already have a plan.
Yeah.
So I will say real fast that Rick is our friend from Think Like a Horse. Rick was a little bit iffy at first, and then Rick began to realize and talk to me about the lifespan of an ostrich being 60 plus years.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm not trying to say anything that we don't already know, but for you and for me, Jami, most of us will not live 60 years. And so Rick was very responsible in the fact that he said, Lester, I don't think it would be wise for me to take an ostrich, because whereas I can probably find somebody to take my horses, he doesn't think he could find somebody to take an ostrich.
Yeah.
Especially if we're a male. And so that's so that was very responsible, and I respect that, because Rick,
Yeah.
was a right thing to say and the right thing to do.
No, it's true. And
I
that
don't
goes with
know.
any animal. I mean, you have to have a contingency plan. And, I realize that not everybody thought through everything before that they brought an animal into their lives. And that can be,
Oh, we've done that. Jake's done that. We've all
Yeah.
done that. You don't, you fall in love with the idea, and then you realize once it's there that this is not what I really bargained for, and we
Yeah.
don't want to have that. So, of course, I've talked to both Daniel and Jason. I believe that Daniel and DJ, they're at Arms Family, would love to have an ostrich if it were a female. Now, I know they're still a little bit apprehensive because they're not real familiar with, but you all know, and we know, how loving the females are.
Yeah.
And so if we do get them gender sexed, and we do have a female, at least one female, then that one will be making a drive with us up to Oklahoma to the Arms Family. And so I know for a fact that, you can say, well, Daniel ain't gonna live 60 years. He might. Only the good die young. Seriously. I'm kidding, Daniel.
no, but Daniel's kids and their future.
Daniel will continue a legacy. And so a lot of folks who have land and they were born on that land, they'll die on that land, their kids were born on that land, their kids, then those kind of things are a continuation. And so you feel very safe and secure in knowing that even if Daniel himself can't, and DJ, she'll outlive Daniel by years and years and years. If she can't, because the good die young, Jami, the good die young. I'm kidding, DJ. But the thing is, there'll be a plan for those folks. I asked Jason Smith over at Cog Hill, Brooke, and Mary Carl, I would love to gift a female to them as well. But now their situation is they're in the middle of a whole lot.
There's a lot going on.
they have a house being built, and they have Brooke's mom's living there, and they're trying to build. They're in a new home, a new property that they're trying to establish, and that would require a little bit taller fencing and other things that an ostrich would need, and so they're not real sure if now's the time. They would love to have one, but Lester, the timing is just not right now. And so we respect that. I would
Because
so
we've
much
said those
rather.
things too. That's how, like that is the most honest, thing that anyone could say is that we would love to, but the timing is just not right. And when you know the timing isn't right, then that is insanely responsible and thoughtful and a true caregiver to animals. Because there's been times when you and I have said, I just don't think that we could ever do this right now. People have contacted us about some horses. People have contacted us about even other longhorns or cows. There's been times where we've had to say no to some pigs. I know that broke your heart. There's been times where people have contacted us about alpacas before Ernie came into our lives, and the timing wasn't right, and we couldn't. And things happen for a reason and pan out the way that they do for a reason. But you got to know what you're working with and what you're capable of, what your pastures, can do, the resources to take care of them, the way to keep them safe, the rest of your animals safe. There's a lot of thought that goes into it, and that's not just with an ostrich.
So if we have, if by some reason we cannot move our females, then by all means, they're right here with us. Mm-hmm. We are blessed that we have 2 properties. There's a very large pasture with Tex and his family. And even though I really would not feel comfortable with an ostrich being down close by the road, just by fear of the neighbors having to make that be part of not a nuisance, because they're not a nuisance, but it's going to be a reason for people to drive by real slow and look.
Yeah.
And so that would be my only worry about an ostrich here. But we also have the pasture over here with Carl, where we're going to have Carl and Debbie on one side, and then it's going to be cross-fenced. On the other side, we're going to have Tina and more than likely Orange, which is the one we're calling Pat, Pea-Pat, or Tattletale. So we will have 4 ostriches here, 2 in one pasture, 2 in a different pasture, and those will not have any access to the road whatsoever. They have a very large, grassy, and shady pasture. If you've watched any of the Longhorn Lester Page videos, then you know exactly what I'm working on over here, as we speak actually, to make Carl and his family their best life ever. And so we're not concerned with having one. What's wrong?
I don't know how to do this on here, but
You're gonna block somebody?
yeah.
Somebody's going to time out. Guys, Cody, stop being an ass. Seriously, why would listen, it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. If you're here to be mean, don't you think there's a lot of other places you
I
can
don't
go?
think they're being mean. They're just being annoying. They said the same thing about 100 times in a row.
Oh.
If I can read it that many times, the poor people that can read every comment are probably completely annoyed.
Yeah, so Cody, you are
You're in timeout.
adios, amigo. And it's how dumb and how embarrassing is that? How dumb and how embarrassing is that? So don't be a Cody. Don't be a Pea-Pat, and don't be a Cody.
Oh, yeah.
And that happens sometimes. I'm glad Jamie saw it. I can't read the comments. They're going by so fast. But we probably should have had somebody over on Morrow Hill doing this for us, playing moderator.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then so if we end up having more females that we cannot find a true home for, then they will come here with us.
Yeah.
They'll come here with us. We're going to leave we're going to leave Wanda back at I'm a Survivor because of her bad leg. She's going to stay with our littles to be their protector, and she will get all the love she needs because, in fact, we are at both properties every single day. So if we end up having more females, then we will eventually feed them in with Wanda.
Yeah.
And then eventually over here to be with Carl or Tattletale, Pea-Pat. Because as a matter of fact, a male ostrich should have up to 3 females is the ideal ratio of males to females. And so we are we're going to be fine.
Yeah.
We're going to be fine. They don't eat, even though you can all see that we make a big old 5-gallon bucket of food that we feed to them every day. It's not expensive. No one's going to go broke on feeding them. But what we will do is, if we are unable to move the ones that we have, males or females, then what we would stop hatching the eggs.
I would say, like, we don't have any vision of now that we know that they really can hatch. We don't have a vision of like hatching more eggs or anything like that. In fact, if anybody lays one, it comes out of the pasture the exact same day. So nobody's broody. No, none of that is happening, and that is how you mitigate it for the future.
Yeah. So that's what will happen with that. Anywho, and then someone says, wait, you're going to be inbreeding brothers and sisters. How? How?
No.
Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying here. Carl is not a brother or a sister. Wanda, Tina, and Debbie are of no relation. The baby that is born from Carl and Debbie will be going in with Tina, who is of no relation. There's no brother sister stuff. And then, if that's not enough, in the chicken and the bird world, I hope that you guys know that a farm has one rooster. And for the generations of chickens that come through there, it's still the one rooster. A lot of times, humans in general, we like to humanize animals without realizing it. And so we don't like to do that, especially with mammals. Mammals, for example, let's take our cow, for example, our bull Tex. We would not want to do the inbreeding with Tex to daughters or to granddaughters. As a mammal, it could create a genetic, a genetic something, an defect, an anomaly.
Defect.
Yeah. So you don't do that. But in the bird world, with that's not a no-no the way it is for mammals. So let's move on. We've talked about ostriches. We talked about you going to jail for me. We've talked about you getting a brand on your right butt cheek for me. A tattooed brand that would not hurt. Hey, it could even be the little ink kind that washes off. I don't care. I think it'd be pretty hot, though. And okay, whatever.
My grandma watches this.
Oh, Jamie's grandmother's watching this. Sorry, ma'am. Boy, did I really get in trouble that time. Huck is doing great.
Yes.
Man, I don't want to keep trying to push that Longhorn Lester page, but I can't help it. But things that are happening here at Longhorn Lester's are all over the Longhorn Lester YouTube. And so if you have questions about what's going on at Longhorn Lester's, it's as simple as going over to YouTube and finding it. You go to YouTube and find my dad's stuff. You go to YouTube and find Jamie's stuff. You go and you find Jake and Ellie, and you find Bree, all of them on YouTube. You find Kim on YouTube. But for some reason, people just cannot seem to bring themselves to go find Longhorn Lester on YouTube. I'm not hurt. I'm not hurting. Do I sound like I'm hurting?
Somebody had a great question, and I've never asked.
Lord.
So if I get the brand tattooed, and that's like a symbol of, like, forever, what are you gonna do? What's your symbol of forever that you're gonna?
Man, so everyone's asking me about
mark?
Pearl.
No,
so
no,
Pearl
sir. No,
is
no,
doing,
no.
Jamie?
Oh, no. I like to see you turn red here, and I'd like you to profess to everyone what you're gonna do.
Well, you've never told me what you would like me to do, so I guess you have to give me the idea. Oh. But like you said, for the last 3 years, I've been asking you to get that tattooed on your right behind, and you refuse to do it. The last 5 years, and you refuse to do it. So give me about 5 years to think about whatever you suggest, and then we will go from there. Pearl's bag is a growing. Pearl has a nice full udder and 4 perfectly rounded teats. I don't know why it sounds so weird to say, but
it is. No, I say this. I have like a weird thing about saying things like that too. I'm like, I just go with bag. She's developing.
Bag. Pearl got a bag. Okay, that's fine. So Pearl got a bag.
Well, it sounds worse when you say it like that. Like it's worse.
Well, here's the thing. So there's certain people that could talk about udders and teats all day long and never.
The messages that are coming up with ideas right now, Lester, just get a strand of pearls on your behind.
a strand of pearls on my behind. You guys are being quite naughty. And wait, that's naughty, right? That's naughty. That's being naughty, right? Is that being naughty?
Sorry, but the suggestions are off the charts funny. I can't even think about anything serious right now. This is the best thing that's ever happened.
Listen, I'm wearing her shirt, okay? I wear her shirt. Is that not enough? Is that not enough?
I just want to say thank you.
I'm not getting a pearl necklace across my behind. I can promise you that. Now, can we please move on from this conversation, because I am blushing. A lot of this is sun. A lot of this is from the sun. A lot of this is from the heat.
It's very hot outside right now.
And the rest is from me imagining me going into a big old butch, buffed up tattoo artist. What do you want, brother? And I'd be like, yes, sir. I would like you to tattoo some a pearl necklace across my ass cheeks. Come again. I think that he's gonna sound like Hulk Hogan. I feel like he would sound like Hulk Hogan.
What do you mean, brother? Is that what he'd say?
Yeah. Hey, brother, come here, brother. And then all of a sudden, he's gonna have to sit down and pull down my pants and begin to tattoo a pearl necklace across my behind. And you know what he's gonna be thinking the whole time?
That he wished it was a tramp stamp instead? Somebody else said that, not me. I can't even take credit for it.
I think that a lot of folks are saying, please talk about animals. Please get back to the animals.
Oh, no, this
and
is
no, we
great.
don't do that. We talk about what we want to talk about. We talk about what we want to talk about. Hey, you know what? Here I go twice in the same video. I'm gonna quote what I saw my mentor say. A lot of people were giving Daniel and DJ a hard time about, I wish you would get back to the old videos, the videos that made you who you are, and you know, all the PPAS. Daniel has PPAS on his page too. And Daniel's like, I'm a video creator and I create what I'm doing. I create what I'm doing. And he said that I'm not gonna sit there and plant cucumbers, which was my original content, year round, year after year after year. I'm not gonna go out there and show everyone how to grow tomatoes in a 5-gallon bucket over and over and over. People don't do that. People evolve. And so I'm a Survivor Sanctuary has evolved.
It's true.
And it's evolved and it's branched off into different branches of channels, one of those being Longhorn Lester's. And so what we do is a video creator or a vlogger, they call it vlogging, we do video logs of what we're doing. And so what we doing right now is talking about Jami going to jail, Jami getting a tattoo across her right butt cheek.
And this is a better one. You know.
Oh no!
Okay,
Please, not great. Another one. I've almost got my color back.
Okay. You know, this is very simple. This is
oh
a
no! Someone said,
one.
imagine you being in jail with that tattoo across your butt cheeks. Jami, that would be horrible. So now I go to jail and I'm in the shower and they see a tattoo of a pearl necklace across my behind.
Yeah.
Jami, you're setting me up for.
No, what I was gonna say is that somebody said on the bottom of your foot to put my name like Andy did on the Toy Story toy, you know, to claim you. So if you could just put my name tattooed on the bottom of your foot.
That would be very easy.
That's
I would be more than happy to do that.
Okay, great.
If we can get that brand. But
And
the problem
pearls.
now is, Jami, we have 2 tattoos. So luckily you have 2 butt cheeks, okay? And so I can just think, pshh.
So you're still getting the pearls is what you're saying?
So I imagine the LHL on one side and the Rocking M on the other side, because there are 2 brands that go along with this channel, Jami.
I have no tattoos for the record. So
no, you don't.
So
that would be all new. Well, I think that you'd be happy to know that the butt cheek is not a real sensitive area, so I don't foresee that hurting the way it would if it were in other body.
So what you're saying is that we're going to a tattoo shop and going to make a video of our experience, not the visual part of it.
Someone
but
says,
really,
Jami, please film him getting the pearl necklace
and
across
that's what I'm
his behind.
saying. So if I'm going to get it, so is he.
Not on my behind.
Oh,
the
side
pearl.
by side. He's getting bottom of the foot, and I don't care which butt cheek you pick. It's fine.
We're
You
not-
can go right in the middle, across the top if you want. That.
There's is significantly a difference in you getting a brand tattooed onto your butt cheeks than me getting a pearl necklace tattooed onto mine. There's a significant difference in that. And we're not doing that.
Did you put my name? fine.
Okay.
Just a boot with some pearls dangling over it, and
Jamie,
oh wait, it could look just like this. This right here. Be
your
great.
your logo.
That's
You want
my-
your
that's-
logo. Suits
yeah.
to boots.
Yeah,
All right. There's no pearl necklace on that, is there?
there is.
There is. Great. We've talked about nothing of any essence today whatsoever. I feel like you all have just wasted a lot of your day watching us talk about a lot of nothingness. That's Jamie's garden behind us.
Isn't it getting big? I put a reel up earlier. They watched me pick my first pickle.
So yeah, Jamie is already getting things out of her garden. It's been really neat to watch her show off her little basket of goodies. I did see one strawberry also. I saw one strawberry.
One tiny little berry.
One little berry.
It's okay
It was
though.
cute.
I told him that next year I want twice the size of a garden.
Hold on, Pam says, trust me, it hurts on the ass. All right, Pam, you got something you want to tell us?
Yeah.
Now we're all waiting for Pam's response here. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wanna do another U-shaped garden, raised garden like that, and then I also really want to start working on the orchard. Really excited. Someone sent us a blueberry tree, or bush, a grapevine to start, and some thornless blackberry as well. So I gotta get those planted. I'm excited, really excited.
Yeah, I'm happy for you because this has all come about suddenly. Jamie's always told me for like she keeps saying 5 years, 5 years. I don't know how many times she can hold up 5 fingers. For 5 years, she has told me that everything that she plants dies. Nothing that she plants lives. And behind us, you see proof that Jamie can plant.
Well, that had some mama love on it.
Her mom was here. Her mom helped her, but I saw you and your mom both with dirty hands that day.
It's true.
And so what Jamie plants does live. And I'm really proud to see her pulling the fruits of her labor. Literally, she's pulling the fruits of her labor out of that garden. And I just can't wait till we start eating some of them.
People are saying, Jamie, a pickle is a cucumber. But I have to tell you, the pickle bush is a type of cucumber that actually you want to pick them small. So it's not just a regular, long, skinny cucumber. I promise you that I read when I planted them.
Hetherington family, I absolutely know what that is. Just keep going. Don't even.
Okay. Yep, and I've also picked some jalapenos, some squash, and zucchini, and my first green pepper. So it's been really exciting. I can't wait for everything, and then I just wish that it was bigger and I had more space, and I'm so ready. So ready.
Is what she talked about yesterday when we left out of here. The fact that she wants to double, quadruple even the size of this garden next year. She wants to, over the winter, maybe possibly look at a greenhouse or either some garden lights, some growing lights that we can put inside the barn and have her garden continue through the winter months, growing other plants, obviously. And then us investing in more cinder blocks and building about 3 more of these right here in the same area with just enough space between where I can mow, go down between them.
Yeah.
But I would say that we're having a little bit of trouble with the garden as far as the cucumbers are spreading.
Yeah.
Could we take these and walk over?
You mean maybe?
Can we? So I would like to walk over and show you guys something real fast. A little problem that we're having with the cucumbers and me mowing. Are you afraid we're going to lose our signal?
Yeah, I'm really worried we're going to all the way out there.
Well, so the thing is, everything is pretty much staying contained to her garden area, except for the cucumbers.
No, it's the watermelon.
The watermelon and the cucumbers are growing across. They've come down and now they're going across the yard.
It's the watermelon and the cantaloupe.
And the cantaloupe. And whenever I come out to mow, I have to make a decision. Do I go around it? Do I stop and pick everything up and move it temporarily? Or do I just allow it to grow and let it go? So I've allowed it to grow. I've allowed it just to continue to grow. And it kind of bothers me because you know how I am about all that anal. Like I got to have everything symmetrical and lined up and cut level. And so where Jamie's garden grows, there's sprigs of grass here and there that you just can't deal with. So I don't know.
It'll be fine. I think the bigger that the more space that I have will be the less that you actually have to mow as well. Like I would think that we would do something like your tile that you put down to prevent from having to weed eat or mow inside.
I don't know if they grow across it because of the heat.
That is one thing that I'm.
It's also, it's connecting to the grass blades.
Yeah, I know. I
So.
know. I have a lot more to learn. This is my first year, and the fact that anything is alive out there is remarkable. Like, seriously, I could walk by plants and they would die. That's no joke. I don't know. This is a miracle.
Just remind folks that I am here every day doing all the watering with permission. So don't think that I don't have a hand in.
I know that he has a big hand in this. Like,
Thank you.
I can't get here every day. On work days, it is virtually impossible for me to make it to Longhorn Lester's because of how busy life is. By the time that I'm getting done working, it's time to go out and take care of the animals at home, and there's no time to make it here during daylight hours. So Lester is getting here early in the morning and watering for me, hooking up the drip hose if it needs it, but middle of the day type of thing. And he really has taken a lot of care of pulling out little weeds. He of course
Permission, remember
thin
that.
out
With
my
permission.
cucumbers, that type of thing. So it is. I say that this is a 50-50 deal. It might say Jamie's garden on it, but Lester has helped a ton.
That took a lot for you to say that, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you.
That's okay. Everybody knows it says Longhorn Lester's, and it's taken a lot for me to help you too.
That's true. That much is true. That's true.
Hey, I mowed today. I
Jamie,
mowed the grass today.
Hold on. You mowed certain parts of the
Pasture.
grass.
The
I
pasture.
mow the yard. That's kind of like a Lester thing. That's a man thing, I believe.
It's a man
A
thing.
lot of men want to be, the kings of their yard. And I mow the yard, both yards, over here and at the other house. And but Jamie does like to be a part of mowing because she likes to get this tan. She got that tan to go. And so she wanted to mow. So I'm like, you can mow part of the pasture. So
I
Jamie
told y'all on Tuesday night that I have found a love of mowing that I didn't know that I liked. So today when we got here, I'm like, I'm jumping on the lawnmower. I'm headed out to mow the front of the pasture. So
Yeah.
it's good.
And so she did. She did. That helps a lot because it does keep the front entrance very, very cleaned up. We did a lot of work over there. Those videos are also going to be coming out at some point. We did some landscaping. I had Sister Kim come by one day and give me some ideas. I did some shopping. We did some mulch, a lot of planting. And now the only hard part is there's no water hose down there. So you know that when you first put plants in the ground, especially in the heat of the summer, you have to water them a lot. That would be Lester carrying 5-gallon buckets down on the four-wheeler or the tractor to water like 3 or 4 times a week. And that's not going to be fun, but it's beautiful. And once all that stuff starts coming up, it's going to be fabulous. It's going to be a really nice entrance to the property.
Yeah.
So we're blessed. Jamie, I think we've about exceeded our time. You got anything else you want to say?
No.
Well,
I'm gonna sneeze though.
You're going to sneeze?
Oh my God.
I will say that all of the cows are doing great. The goats
I'm
are
not.
doing wonderful. You okay?
I'm good. It went away.
The cows are good. The goats are good. We're not going to move the ostriches until we decide what's going to happen with the babies. We don't
Yeah.
want to have to put the babies through any kind of a transport more than they have to be. So we're doing what's right for them. Pearl, her bag is growing. She's getting close. And what else? Jamie's going to have a big video come out this week. Though this is a big video week for Jamie because there's going to be a special announcement of a couple of babies that will be making their way over here to Longhorn Lester's. So you guys keep your eye out for that.
Mm-hmm.
And besides that, just don't forget there's a lot of neat things happening on Morrow Hill that a lot of the family members take a lot of pride in putting out their own content.
Hold on, you have a big video coming up with Tex and Santiana though too. I heard you recording it today. So I'm assuming that's going to go on Longhorn Lester's?
That will be on Longhorn Lester's. Yes, it will. I was going to try to say again how that whole thing works. And I don't want to bore people, but I would rather you say it because you say it in the right. You're the one that explained to me how it has to happen with the platforms because they were established for different reasons. They need to be separate entities. And whereas I know it's neat to have everything in one location, like a Walmart. When you go to Walmart, You can go to automotive, you can go to your pet care, you can go to your garden center. That makes it easier. But unfortunately, when it comes to things like social media, you can't really go to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary and see everything that goes on because, in fact, I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. You can talk.
I'm still fighting off this sneeze right now.
Oh,
No, it's
I'm a
okay.
Survivor Sanctuary was established as a farm animal rescue and forever home. And as much as a lot of us have fallen in love with all of the animals, even those that are not quote unquote rescues, there's other folks that come for the rescues and they are confused, very, very confused. And so that's not our goal to confuse anybody. It would be a lot easier if we understand that there's a page for this and there's a page for that. So whenever we decided to make the move of the animals, we tried as hard as we could to only bring to Longhorn Lester's the animals that were not rescues, that were not a part of a rescue or a forever homing situation like all of our rescues are. So there are a few exceptions in that, one being Carl. Carl is coming here for his best interest, for his safety, and for our liability at the other property. But what else can you add to that? And that's why we have the separate channel, guys. That's why we have the separate channel.
Well, I also think though that the channel, so like Longhorn Lester's is a physical place, so you're getting videos from a physical place. And I'm a Survivor Sanctuary is a physical place that holds a community as well that's founded around the love of animals and the rescuing and the rehabilitation and recovery and things like that. So there is a difference, and for those that came for that rescue and rehabilitation and saw a Longhorn pair who were having babies, it was very confusing.
Yeah.
So this allows us to remove that confusion and to keep I'm a Survivor as I'm a Survivor, and that's okay. So for now, Longhorn Lester's videos are on YouTube, and I'm a Survivor is a YouTube and a Facebook platform. And Suits to Boots is not a physical space. It's my journey, and it counts for all the things, whether it's in Illinois, California, Longhorn Lester's, I'm a Survivor.
You're vlogging what you do.
Yes.
Now I got something in my eye. The wind is blowing and it just...
I've eaten my hair like 6 times.
I'm not crying. I promise I have nothing to cry about right now.
That time it went like all the way down my throat when I was talking, so thankful that you got something in your eye.
Oh boy, now I'm going to have the old one eye.
No matter what though, please know that we're Lester and Jami, and that while these places and platforms and all these differences exist, you can find us in so many ways. And our love of animals doesn't change because we drive to another location. Who we are doesn't change because we're on somebody else's Facebook or YouTube video, and that you see who we are in every platform that you see.
Yeah, we will still cross reference materials whenever we can, if we can.
Yeah.
There are things that we will still put on I'm a Survivor Facebook because of the fact that many of those animals are still part of I'm a Survivor. They have not made their way over here yet.
Yeah.
And so it will, over time, will branch. Jami, I think the last thing, and I know y'all are getting tired, y'all ready to go, even though we have quite a few numbers still here, I think that could we talk real fast about, and I mentioned it on Friday, the fact that our platform, YouTube and Facebook, are slowly evolving and changing. We're not necessarily, we are still Lester and Jami, but what Facebook wants from us to continue to be a big part of that platform is a little bit different than what YouTube wants from us. YouTube is completely content with their creators making longer videos. In fact, that's what they've always been here for videos. You can jump, you can talk, you can say this.
So Facebook is really looking to evolve at Meta. Maybe you've seen that. They're looking to evolve to shorter content. So they want quick, short videos, and that's why you're seeing a lot of reels on Facebook. They want videos that are 3 minutes or less as a whole. And when you make a video that's 8 minutes or longer, it kind of gets buried in their algorithm, and you may not see it unless you're really savvy and know how to go search for it. That's why some people are like, man, I can't find this video. I didn't see it. It never came up. Some people say, "Oh, what happened? Why do we only see you live now?" Because Facebook changes a lot of things.
Facebook wants to keep up with TikTok. They
Yeah.
want to keep up with the Snapchat. They want to keep up with the shorts on YouTube. And it's a competition with these guys. And it's not our business. We are blessed that they allow us a part of their page, but it's their business. It's like they're the managers. We are the workers for them. We work for them. So in saying so, our managers at Facebook have told us they want 3 minutes or less in content. YouTube has never told us that. So in saying so, we have to comply, or Facebook will say if you don't comply, then they're slowly going to start hiding us. When I say hiding us, you're going to have to go find us if you want to see us. They're never going to let us pop up onto your page.
So you go with what the platform is doing. It's just the same as when we very first started making videos, Facebook didn't have a platform or a way to watch videos really on a business page. A business page was really about just saying who you
Promoting
are.
your business,
Yeah. So that's evolved greatly too, and we have learned with them, and we're very blessed that they invite us to these forums to learn and to talk with other creators and to sit in front of their leadership panel to say what works for us and then listen. It might not always take what we ask or say to make things actually happen like that, to come to fruition, but they do listen, and we have to evolve, and then we have to also understand that they're still a business. They're trying very hard to differentiate themselves with competitors like YouTube or TikTok. So they're trying to have different things to keep up with their business, and we're trying to follow suit.
Can I say what I told Ellie about the shrimp on the menu?
Yes.
I had this really neat thing. Ellie was also equally, we were talking with Ellie about it because he's also, and I said, Ellie, it's kind of like when you have a business. If you owned a restaurant, and even though on your menu you had shrimp Alfredo or whatever, but no one bought it, or very few people bought your shrimp Alfredo, you would be a foolish manager. You'd be a foolish business to continue to buy shrimp only to have it spoil. And so ultimately at some point you would have to change your menu items to the things that sold.
Yeah.
And so right now with Facebook as a business, they're not selling long videos. Advertisers, which is how Facebook makes their money, they don't want to put an ad on a long video. And don't be upset with me, Jamie and I. It's because people don't want to watch long videos. And you say, I do. And so I know some of us do, and many of us enjoy long videos. But by and large, the Facebook community in general wants short videos. Hit, like a TikTok, like the little reels that you see.
But on the contrary, YouTube is a platform that was created for videos, and for people who love to watch videos, YouTube is an amazing platform because that's what you do there. It's not meant to connect with friends or to build relationships or things like that.
Or to see what your ex-boyfriends are doing, ladies.
For that, so YouTube is staying the same. So it's for us. What it means is that Facebook is going to get a little trial around some shorter videos, and YouTube will have longer videos, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And it'll be different. So Facebook is going to have some shorter, just quicker videos that are going to come out that we won't post to YouTube.
Yeah, those will be Facebook only to see if we can get back into Facebook's good graces. I owe Facebook everything. I said that before, even though I enjoy YouTube, and YouTube has been good to me. Facebook is what I owe all of this to, because if it were not for Facebook on taking a chance on this guy, on allowing me to do the whole Bear Grylls experience, Facebook allows the business page and all that Facebook has done, I don't know where we would be right now as far as a channel goes. I don't know. So I owe Facebook everything. I will not bash Facebook.
No.
Of course, I have my opinions of things like everybody does. Have you ever heard of elbows and... Never mind. So, of course, we have our opinions, but those are not for here or there. Just know that sometimes we are not trying to evolve as much as Facebook is asking us to. So there's other options. You're always welcome to go to other options. in whatever you choose to watch. But for those of you who go to Facebook only for long videos, know that it's going to be harder and harder to find
We're
those.
still gonna upload them. We're still gonna post them. But if you don't know how to find them, Facebook will start to bury some of them, sadly.
I don't want to leave on a negative note, so can we get back to that?
Well,
And
oh
how
my
soon
God.
can this happen? How soon
God.
can this happen?
Well, my birthday's coming up. You can get yours anytime.
I had a different idea for your birthday, but Father's Day's coming up.
What'd you get me for Mother's Day?
3 baby ostriches.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
Let's go ahead and log out now while we still can. Thank you guys for watching, and we will holler at you guys next time.
Bye, guys. Thanks for loving us and for being with us this Sunday afternoon. We hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.
And let's talk about the Memorial.
That's
Yeah.
what I was just going to say is we want to say to those who have given the ultimate sacrifice and for the families that have loved those that have, that we are so grateful. I'm going to cry now. You switched it from laughing to cry like I'm some kind of lunatic, but seriously, we would not be here if it wasn't for those folks. So
Well, the freedoms that we have, that we enjoy every day, the freedom to complain, even the freedom to be upset, the freedom to not like how things are going,
the
but those are
freedom
still
to tease
freedoms.
each other about going to jail and for tattoos and all of the things.
Yeah, don't forget the reason that we have this holiday, and you guys remember those families that have continued on living when a piece of them is in fact gone. And they gave, like Jamie said, that ultimate sacrifice for us to continue on with our lives. And so it's a beautiful holiday, and just don't take it for granted.